So, what's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome yourselves back to another zombies video on the channel, back with yet another zombies Q&A, where we take your questions from the comment section below and we answer them. So if you enjoyed today's video, as always, you know what to do. Drop a like rating, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. You don't have to if you don't want to. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies content. Click that bell notification icon as well to make sure you get alerted every time I upload a video. But without further ado, when you're ready, here we go. So the first question of today from Azul Hernandez says, on Revelations, what are those red crawling things? And I assume you're talking about the Furies. These, just like the Mogwai, the Parasites, the Meatballs, who are actually called the Insanity Elements, well, the Furies are apothecons just like them. We've just never seen them before. When the Shadow Man used the summoning key to open up a gateway to allow the apothecons from the Dark Ether down to Dr. Monty's perfect universe, the Furies used that to enter Monty's world, and that's why we see them. And that's also why we never saw them before. But yeah, the Furies are just apothecons. The next question from Ethan Carey says, hey BOA, in your next video, can you tell me why the CDC and the CIA are in town and farm in Black Ops 2? Love your videos, keep up the good work. So again, this is another popular question that I get asked a lot, and it's why do we play as the CDC and the CIA agents on the maps Town, Farm, and Bus Depot as well? But then when it comes to Transit, we're playing as the Transit characters, so why on these singular maps do we play as the CIA and CDC? Not them. Why are they there? Why do they need to go to Farm and Town? Well, we know that we also play as them in Nuketown. When the nuclear bomb exploded there as a result of Broken Arrow's drilling, the CIA and CDC were both sent there to investigate what was going on. But we know when they arrived, the undead outbreak had already happened, meaning those characters had to fight off against the zombies. They had to fight for their own survival. That's the reason why they are there, but we're not really told why they go to Town, Bus Depot, and Farm. But we can guess, since the CDC stands for Center of Disease Control, and like I said, by this time the zombie outbreak had already happened, we could guess that maybe they were sent there to investigate what was going on. They'd probably been told that strange things were going on in these places, and so because it's their job to save lives and protect people from health, safety, and security threats, well, the CDC were probably sent to Farm and the other places to save the people, maybe on a rescue mission or just to try and stop the infection. And you could say the same for the CIA. Obviously, it stands for Central Intelligence Agency. Maybe they were sent there to get intelligence on what was going on, maybe to find out what had happened at these places. We also know that the CIA and the CDC don't get on with each other. They pretty much hate each other. They are rivals, so maybe they both went there at the same time to outdo one another or try and find a solution first. I don't know, that's just a few ideas. As I said, we're not told in the Canorium, but that for me makes the most sense. Alfie Ford says, BOA, can you answer this please? In Shadows of Evil, what is the story behind the little pods that spawn either a zombie or a power-up? PS, love your videos, been watching for ages. Well, these plants or pods that we see grown all over Morgue City are a result of Element 115. On January the 15th of 1943, a meteor shower rained over Shadows of Evil. These meteors of 115 hit the city, and then not too long after, strange mold began growing everywhere. People around began to get sick and acting delirious, and this was all a result of the 115 meteors that hit here. So I'm guessing before maybe these were just weeds that were growing out of the ground, out of the concrete or something like that. And when the 115 came down, it infected not only the plants, but also the people around here as well. And we know what 115 does to things, so it eventually turned these plants into the pods that we see. And then when we actually play the game, I guess you could kind of compare it to Zetsubo no Shima, where Division 9 also combined 115 with plants, and as we see, similar things happened. The plants basically come to life, they change and evolve, they look different, very much different to what they actually were, and that's what's happened in Shadows. We can harvest them to get different things out of them, like power-ups, like you said, grenades. You can also get a zombie that jumps out. Sometimes you can get weapons, you can get the ray gun if you're lucky. The next question says, I have a question. What is the deal with the KN-44 inside of the summoning key we found in the Giant? So going all the way back to this image, I totally forgot about this, but as you say, in the Giant there were pieces of scrap paper that you find, and when you put them all together, you get this blueprint. Now we can see that it's the summoning key, and on the inside we have a weapon, looks like the KN-44. Around it there's this gold pattern with other things around it as well. They look like solar systems maybe, or different universes. But what does this image mean? Like I said, we found it all the way back when Black Ops 3 first came out in the Giant, I think a couple of days after release. But what does it mean? You can see it's the summoning key, but there's a weapon, a gun inside of it. Why? What exactly does this mean? What are they trying to tell us with this blueprint? Or more importantly, who drew this up? Why would this be in the Giant? We know that the summoning key has many powers. Apparently it's the most powerful artifact in any universe. We know it can hold souls inside of it. So is this blueprint showing that the summoning key can hold souls inside of it, even though there's a weapon there? I don't know, it's a bit strange. Put a weapon inside of the summoning key to show that it could hold souls. Surely you'd just put a person inside or something like that. I don't know. Maybe this is one of the many other powers that it has that we just haven't seen from it. Maybe it can hold weapons inside of it that we can use, or maybe what this is showing is that the summoning key is a weapon. That could be another reason. You've also got to ask, why is this thing in the Giant? Since we know that the time when Richtofen and Maxis were learning about the summoning key, well, Richtofen was in Origins and a few other places, and Maxis was in the house. None of them were at the Giant, so why is this blueprint here? Surely if it was to be drawn up by someone, it would have been one of those two, which would have meant that it shouldn't be in the Giant, unless it's from someone else. Maybe Monty put it here for us to find and put together. In fact, if you take a look down the bottom corner, it does say Dr. Monty. That's something that I've just remembered. So this was drawn up by Dr. Monty, so it's him that's trying to tell us something. We know that he was assisting Maxis in finding the Canorium and the summoning key. He actually told Maxis about the Canorium and about the summoning key. Monty knew all about it, so maybe this is a blueprint that he drew up for him, and then Maxis left it in the Giant for Richtofen to find, or maybe Richtofen left it here when he came to activate the beacon. I don't really think that's important. What is important is, what is this really trying to show us? A KN-44 inside of the summoning key, to me, says two things. Either Monty is trying to tell us, trying to show us that it can hold objects inside of it, or he's trying to tell us that the summoning key is a secret weapon. I mean, which it is. It can kill people, it can hold their souls inside. Patricia Penner, hopefully I've got your name right, says, are the Origins robots and the Civil Protector from Shadows of Evil related? Love your videos. So no, I don't believe there is a relation. As far as I'm aware, the Civil Protector wasn't built by Group 935, but you have to admit, they do look very similar. In fact, they basically look the same. The Civil Protector is kind of like a mini version of the giant robots. Of course, the giant robots were built by Group 935 during World War I, and they were used for the German army. The Civil Protector, on the other hand, exists in the 1940s and is used to help the police fight off crime. As it says in Shadows of Evil, the safety of Morgue City's citizens is its only priority.
The safety of Morgue City citizens is my only priority.
It was kind of like a robot bodyguard to protect people in Morgue City. You can see that it's equipped with a KN-44, which, I mean, we were talking about that weapon just earlier, with it inside of the summoning key. I doubt there's any link, but it's interesting. If you look on it, you can see a police badge on its chest, and you can actually purchase it in-game to protect you. He's actually really cool and is capable of pretty much fighting every enemy. It can destroy the heads on the Margwa, the zombies, the parasites. The only thing wrong is he won't actually earn you points, but he can revive you as well. So, I mean, if you haven't brought this guy, he only costs 2,000 points. Just be careful though, don't get in the way of his bullets because he can actually down you. But yeah, you have to admit there's a noticeable similarity between him and the giant robots, but they're not the same. This guy, I would say, was built by the Morgue City Police Department, and like I said, the giant robots were built by Group 935. Brotato Master says, hey BOA, why does the Mob of the Dead crew in the opening scene look to be holding the Bloodhound? Is this something that was cut from Black Ops 2? Well, yes, again, another popular question. You can see in the intro trailer for Mob of the Dead when the characters take these weapons out of the Warden's private collection, what they are holding seems to look like the Bloodhound that we get in Shadows of Evil. But yet, as we all know from our disappointment when it comes to in-game, we never actually have these as our starting pistols. We just have the M1911. I mean, they do look a tiny bit different from the Bloodhound that we use in Shadows of Evil, but that still doesn't give us a reason as to why we don't use them in the game. Like you said, were they cut from the final version? Now, there's no evidence or proof to show that, to point towards that they were ever in the game. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, there's no coding to prove that they were supposed to be a starting pistol. It looks just like Treyarch added them into the intro to make it look cooler, and it definitely does look cooler than just the standard M1911s, but I still would have really liked to have seen these in Map of the Dead. I think they would have fit this map really well, but they weren't in the game. Anyway guys, there we go. That is all I have for you for today. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Also, I was going to say smash that like button, but I just said that. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies videos on the channel. Also, click that notification icon as well. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for supporting the videos, and I will see you all in the next video. Until next time, goodbye.